This is the plaintiff, Paul. He says the defendants, his former landlords, who illegally entered the double-wide mobile home he rented from them, refuses to return his security and is also holding his property hostage. She's a little cuckoo and he's a little drunk, so they complement one another perfectly. That being said, he deserves his property and his security back and is suing for $2,203.69. These are the defendants, Rose and Jack. Rose says the plaintiff has some nerve, oh boy. He was a nightmare tenant who did all sorts of damage to their beautiful double-wide trailer, and he has some gall suing them in court today. Once the judge sees how this man lived and what he did to their property, she's gonna laugh him right out of this court. She's sure of it. They're accused of not giving anything back.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says his former landlord broke into his trailer and now he won't return his security. But the defendant says the plaintiff was a human wrecking ball. It's the case of downwardly mobile.
All right, Paul, you're suing Rose and Jack for $2,243.48 that you say you are out as a result of having rented their what kind of double-wide mobile home, and they won't give you back your security deposit, and they won't pay you for things that you believe you should be paid for. Tell me what happened.
Basically, ever since day one, it's been nothing but problems with them. They're very rude. They're nasty. They don't ask you to do anything. They tell you to do it.
So how long were you in there entirely?
Less than 2 months.
Okay. So your security deposit was how much?
$1,500.
Okay. And when did you move in?
I started on the 11th, I'd say about the 13th.
Of?
January.
January 13th of what year?
Oh, this year, I'm sorry.
Okay. So January 13th of 2017. And did you have a written lease?
Yes.
May I see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you move in on the 13th, but apparently the beginning of the lease is January 15th.
Right.
So they let you in early?
Yes.
Okay. You decide to leave when?
January 27th, when she came to sign the lease, they pound on the door. They're having a heart attack because the cable guy cracked a small item outside, and it's the end of the world. I have a picture of it.
Let me see it. What is it that he cracked?
A piece of the vinyl skirting.
On the mobile home?
Yes.
Okay, let me see it. Okay, this is the skirting?
Yes.
It's damaged in many places.
Okay,
how did that happen?
That's what was there before I even got there. He cracked a little spot, but they're going to go out of the world and be nasty to me because there's one little crack.
Okay, other than that you don't like their level of politeness, why did you break the lease? Because you have a lease that says that you're going to stay. Oh, no, you're a month to month.
Right.
When did you give your notice?
Right after she threatened me on January 27th, right after that incident.
Okay, and she threatened you on January 27th that she would do what?
She said because I was talking to her boyfriend, it's not going to be good for me, and you wait and see what happens.
Well, what was the threat, though? That you were going to wait and see what happens?
Yeah.
Why are you talking to her boyfriend? You're the owner of the place, right?
Yes.
Right,
Because
so why are you talking to
she was acting
him?
like a lunatic, running around the house yelling and screaming because we were discussing two little fittings on the water heater.
Actually, I think the way you said it in your complaint was, I think she's menopausal because she's 50, and so she acts a lot crazy.
Oh, she's very crazy.
Did you know your judge was going to be a woman?
Well,
Did you know your judge was going to be in her 50s?
No, it's not that I have anything against women. I
Against
have great respect
menopausal
for
women?
No, not at all. And believe it or not.
So did you get notice January 27th? He's saying he gave notice January 27th.
The first time he said that he was moving out was on, I believe it was the 10th of March.
Of March?
Of March.
Do you have any texts that show before the 10th of March you giving no? See, the reason why it's important is because they want to keep, because it's her place, wants to keep part of your deposit for, am I correct? You want to keep part of the deposit for rent?
Yes.
Because of lack of notice?
Yes, because he
Okay,
didn't
so
give-
that's why I need to know when you notified them. I need to see some proof of it. So I know there's a series of texts back and forth. Do you have a text that predates where she admits she got notice March something. Do you have a text that predates that? A
No, I
text in
don't.
January or February where you say, I'm done, I'm looking for another place?
No, I don't, but our
Do
original.
you have a certified letter or an email, anything?
No, our original agreement was that I'd be a month-to-month basis to see if
Right.
I liked the place.
Right. It's month to month, and that means you got to give 30 days. That's what month to month means, that you have to give 30 days notice. Did you understand it to mean something different?
That it was just basically month-to-month, because her and I talked about it.
Right. So how much notice did you believe you had to give?
Really, none. It terminates on the end of the month.
That's not what month to month means. And what are you pointing at your phone for?
Because I have a text message that he sent to me that says, I will be out by the 15th. This was the first notice, and this is March 11th on a Saturday.
Well, okay, let me see actually what the text says. Hand it to my bailiff, please.
I have all of them copied if you'd like to see them.
I like to see them in the phone because then I can scroll up and down and make sure people don't just hand me what they want me to see. But so
Okay.
if you have them in your phone.
I have them in my phone.
Yeah.
So the plaintiff in this case says that the defendant, a woman, is menopausal in her 50s, and that's why she is difficult to deal with. Is that a fair comment or sexist?
Sexist.
Why do you say?
Just because a woman is menopausing does not mean she can't control her emotions or that they're not valid.
But doesn't it throw off emotions somewhat?
No, it doesn't. It has nothing to do with emotions. It's just,
Oh, I'm going to get in such trouble. What do you think, sir?
Well, I mean, I've personally made the mistake of calling someone that, and I can tell you it's very sexist to make a comment like that.
Oh, you got beaten up for it, didn't you?
Yeah, a couple times.
By you?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's making sense going inside the courtroom.
I got text from him to you on March 10th telling you I'm leaving.
That was what I said beginning of March 10th is the first time he told me that he
Right.
was going to move
I
out.
do not have a January or a February one. I have a January 17 text where you're setting up a time so somebody can take your pellet stovepipe so you don't complain or accuse me of doing something wrong. Thanks. That's January 20th.
Me and Jack were discussing changing some pipes on the water heater because the water heater smelled so horrible it needed to have some work done.
So you
on it.
made some changes to the place. What changes did you make to the place?
Well,
and that's part of what you're suing for.
I drained the water heater.
Uh-huh.
I moved the gas regulator out from under the building because it was going to, it has a chance of exploding and it's illegal. And I changed the dryer vent. And,
You did all these things because you assumed you were going to continue to live there.
right.
If you did it on your own, she doesn't have to pay you for it unless she had agreed at some point that she would pay you for it before you did it. You understand?
Well,
Like you can't.
She did. Originally, we discussed that. And then he comes.
She's angry that you even moved the pipes because she liked them where they were under the house because she doesn't really care if whoever's living there gets blown up because her pipes were the only pipes in the hood that didn't freeze. So she liked them underneath there, okay? But you can't have them underneath there. They don't belong underneath there.
Right. But it's a gas line,
You're
it doesn't
suing.
freeze.
So I've got you on March, and when do you leave? When is it that you actually leave?
I
March
was-
13th?
I was out by the 13th, yes.
Of what month?
March.
Now, you are suing them. According to you guys, he gives you notice on the 12th. I'm leaving on the 13th. And according to you, he's supposed to give you more notice than that, so you want to keep the security deposit. But the rent is how much?
1,000.
And you're keeping $1,500. Why are you keeping the other $500?
Well, he only lived there for like a month and a half, and there were certain things that we had to like repair that wasn't really normal wear and tear.
Such as?
The carpeting had 2 stains on it.
Do you have pictures?
I do, but I emailed them all. I thought they were going to be up on the screen.
They might be.
Your Honor,
Okay.
I have pictures
Hold on a
of
second.
carpet.
Why are you interrupting?
I'm sorry.
All right. So,
The
what's
whole
this a
corner.
picture of?
One of the stains
Okay, and this spot is where?
in the bathroom.
Okay, do you know how this spot got there?
It was there before I moved in.
Okay, so do you have proof that it wasn't there before he moved in? Do you have pictures of the place before he moved in?
Not with me, at home.
Well, this is where you need them.
Yes,
That was
I
the
know.
reason to take pictures, to show what good condition it was in, and that he has to pay you to repair stuff because that's not how you handed it to him.
Yeah.
That's your defense. You have the burden of proof on that defense. All right,
That's the other stain.
right. How
You
did
could
this
see-
stain get there?
Not by me.
Meaning what?
Meaning that this carpet is probably 14 years old. The
And
last
it was there,
tenant.
that's how you got it?
Yep, the last
Okay.
tenant begged them to change it. They refused.
Is the place rented now?
Yes.
How quickly did you re-rent it?
We signed a lease. They're in May 1st.
So from him leaving, you would never be entitled to more than a month, right? Because it's 30 days notice. And his rent was how much a month?
It was $1,000 plus
a month.
$25 for the
So
garbage.
the only $25 for what?
The garbage pickup. If you look on the lease, it says $1,025.
Okay.
Can I add something, please?
Yes.
I have pictures of the day I left. Those stains or none of those things are even there.
Oh, let's see.
I had all the carpets steam cleaned before he moved in, and the entire place
Just
painted.
a second, ma'am. First of all, you have a cropped picture, so I have no idea if the stain is there because the stain would be here, right? And your picture ends here. You see?
Okay.
Take a look at what's there. The stain's about 1.5 feet away from this part of the tub, and that's not in this picture. So you do not have proof that it was not stained before you left.
Okay?
Okay. But
Yeah.
mercifully for you, you do not need proof because they don't have proof that they handed it to you in a way that's different than that. And that's what you have to do as a landlord. You have to take pictures of the whole thing, and then you have evidence when someone says, I didn't break that. You say, you're crazy. I gave it to you unbroken. Look, I have the pictures. All right. And as for the security deposit, you're incorrect when you say, hey, I stayed till the end of the month. It just renews every month, and I never have to give notice. The law in the state of New York is that on a month-to-month tenancy, you have to give 30 days notice when you're outside the boroughs. So you leave on the 15th, so that means you owe $1,025 for the rent and the pickup for the next month because you didn't give them enough notice for them to be able to do that. Now, your decision to keep beyond that figure, the additional $475 would have to be based on you proving to me that there is some damage that he did when it sounds like he might have improved the place by several of the things that happened. With that additional $475, what damage are you able to prove that you didn't hand it to him that way? None, because you didn't have a single picture to show how it is you handed it to him. So I'm going to order you to return part of the security deposit, but I'm going to take away from there the month's rent of the following month because you did not get appropriate notice. So I'm ordering you to return the remainder of $475. Verdict for the plaintiff.
The plaintiff gets $475, not $2,200, which is what he was suing for. You okay?
Yes, I feel that it's fair.
Did you learn something from all of this back and forth?
Definitely.
Should take pictures, evidence. That way you can get more of what you're seeking in court?
We're
Yes.
going to this time.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, it's a hard way to learn, but anyway, you have learned a lot. Okay, good enough. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So he does get the $475 back. They get to keep an extra month rent. How do you feel about the outcome?
I feel horrible because they treat you bad enough that you're in fear you can't sleep at night, but yet they can, you still have to give them 30 days notice. I mean, they were so horrible the way they were. If I would have gave them any more notice, what would happen then? They'd be coming in at night while I'm trying to sleep. There's 4 other tenants had the same exact problem. They're very rude and nasty and overstep their boundaries, and they break the laws, and they're still getting away with it.
Yeah, I feel for you. Okay, so you get $475, better than nothing, right?
I guess.
All right, thank you. Sorry you couldn't get everything. Harvey, it's a very interesting point about getting back security, right?
It is indeed, Doug. Look, when you move into a place, here's what's important for the landlord and the tenant. You take pictures of everything when you move in, and you take pictures of everything when you move out. Landlords and tenants should do this. You establish what it looked like before, what it looked like when they move out. It will protect everybody that way, and it will allow the judge to be fair. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.